Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Sylvia Fortunato, and you are listening to Sylvie Talks Soul. On this podcast, you will be able to find a safe and welcoming space where you can learn and listen to my tips and tricks on how to navigate through life with love, sympathy, compassion, harmony, vulnerability, kindness, and last but not least, consciousness. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second episode. Today, we're going to talk about boundaries and how they are so important in order to live a more peaceful and calm life. When we say boundaries, we often think that we have to only set it for people who are coming into our lives. We often say it that we need boundaries for new situations. Let me give you an example. When we are encountering something new, we say, okay, this time I'm going to do things differently. Or when we go on a date and we meet a new guy, we often say, okay, with this guy, it's going to be different. I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to set my boundaries. I'm going to tell him or her whatever I want, and I'm going to be straightforward, and I'm going to voice my needs. So this and this is what we think often when we think about boundaries. We think that is only for when we are confronted with new situations or when new people come into our lives. And if I learned one thing during this pandemic is that it is important to set boundaries for people who are already in our lives, especially family members, coworkers, loved ones. Okay? These people are essential for you to set boundaries to. Okay? Because these are people that you deal with. Some of us deal with coworkers on a daily basis. Some of us talk to our families or see our families or live with our families on a daily basis. We also have friends. We also have a social life on a daily basis. So if we have all of these situations happening, currently, that means that we need to have boundaries currently, right? Is that making sense? And it's very easy to bend those boundaries, or especially with family members and loved ones, it's very easy to give them a pass and be like, oh, but it's family. Oh, but that's my best friend. And, like that is someone that I really care about. So I'm going to let this slide. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, because we do need to have compassion and we do need to have empathy. And we do need to understand also what is the other side, giving to me. Like, why are these people acting that way towards me? Are they projecting? Are they going through something that they can't control? Are they being affected by their ego? And are they being controlled by their ego and they're not really aware of it? So we also need to take all of these things into consideration, obviously, before we just go out there and be like, listen, I have boundaries now, okay? You can't talk to me that way. So obviously, before we go out there and voice all of this, in this matter, we obviously need to understand what is on the other side, and we need to, fit within the situation, kind of like read the room, right? So, but circling back to what these boundaries really mean for you, it just means that you are reaching a point where you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be uncomfortable. If you have this discussion, or if you bring up this topic around a friend or a coworker or a family member, and you can see that that topic might put you in an uncomfortable situation, that's when you gather up your boundaries and you say to yourself and eventually to the other people around you that, like, listen, I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not comfortable talking about that. I'm on a different vibration right now. I'm on a different thing right now. I do not want to be a part of that. And this is what boundaries look like. It just looks like you voicing your needs, you voicing what makes you uncomfortable in order to have peace within yourself. And this is the most important part, is that when you do these things, when you finally reach to a point where you have these boundaries and you're like, listen, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about that. and you tell this to other people around you, you're doing that for yourself. This is very important too. Keep this in mind that whatever you do, you're doing it because of you. You're not doing it to accommodate other people. Sometimes sometimes you are. Let's not be hypocritical. Of course, that sometimes you do things to accommodate other people, but it is important that if you do that, you are also putting yourself first, and you are doing it because you want to be at peace. You want to reach a point where you don't want to be bothered. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to be put in a position where it's out of your character. So this is important also, because when you do things because you want to do things for yourself without any expectations, that's when things go right. And that's when you feel at peace with yourself. When you just voice your opinion and you voice your needs with no expectations on the other side, you just saying that because you want to say that and you want to feel good about yourself, and you're not worried about what the other person is going to think, what the other person is going to do. That's when you reach the point of, okay, I have my boundaries. This is what I'm doing. And when I reach to that point, that's when I know I'm not going to go past that. And that's when you reach that peaceful and calmness of mind and just, relaxation even. But yeah, you guys, I tried to be a little bit concise, and I tried to explain a little bit better about what boundaries really mean. And I hope this was clear. It was obviously a very, very small example, but it's something that I take with me on a daily basis. And it's something that it's been helping me for so long, especially since the pandemic started. It's something that I use and I feel great about it. So this is my message for today. Once again, thank you so much for being here with me. This episode was so much fun to record. And if you liked it, don't forget to download, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share it with your friends. We have so much more to cover in the upcoming episodes. We're going to talk about relationships, spirituality, living abroad, soul connections, childhood and generational traumas, and how they still affect us. So as you can hear, there's still a lot more to cover here, you guys. So once again, I really appreciate having you guys here, and I cannot wait until you come back for the next episodes. Bye, and have a wonderful day, everyone.